So my hyacinths are flowering now, and I've seen that they're beginning to become too heavy for the stem, so I'm going to have to do some staking. Actually, hyacinths are the very first plants that I have that I had to stake, and I've had them for about 4 years now. I keep evolving with the kind of stakes that I'm using, but today I'm going to use bamboos to keep them erect, and I will show you as I'm going along. So these are some of the things that we'll be using in the stake for the staking. I've got my bamboo. Some of them I have cut into smaller, I've just snipped them into smaller side and height, because I want it to be the length, at least about 3/4 of the length of the hyacinth. And I have the green twine that I'm going to use to secure the hyacinth to the bamboo. And of course you need a little bit more, a number of tools. I've used the secateur to cut any bits and pieces, and I also have a pair of scissors. Some of these things that I'm using, I'll link them in the description below in case you need to acquire any of them. I like using the bamboo stakes because it's easy to actually break them. I just do it at the nodes to get the right height, and I've come up with a system that I use to to start the whole process of staking. So first, what I would do is to put the bamboo next to the hyacinth I want to stake and push it into the ground to give me an idea of how far it can go and the height I want. And in this case, if I was going to do this, I'm not doing this anymore because it's already been secure. But if I was doing it afresh, I could have done this a little further. So I know around here, take it out, and then I'm going to snip it just about here, and it's so easy to do. So let me do that and I'll show you. There you go. So that's in one of the nodes. It's so easy to do that. And now I have the right height. I have the right height for another of my hyacinth that I want to stake. So this is the first thing I do. Put it in the ground to determine how high I want it. Then next thing is to snip it so that I know the height will be sufficient, will be appropriate for the particular hyacinth, because of course they are different stages and they have different heights, different growth height. So then I put it next to the hyacinth and then tie it with use the tie. So I've got a few more that I'm going to do, and this is what I use. So I like to tie it or secure it in two places. First one should be about here, that is below. I'm showing you that this one now, so below that, and the next another one on top. If it's possible, I like to put it somewhere between the floret, so that part of the floret will act as a catch mechanism, so that the what I've tied around used to secure it will not slip down, because I've noticed that this happens from time to time. So this is my process of securing my hyacinth. If you have any comments, please put it in the comment section. If you've got any question, and if you're using any other way or method to stake your hyacinth, also you can put that in the comments and let me know your reaction to what I'm doing here. I would say that largely I have come up with this method myself. So this is one of the things I like about gardening. You need to be careful when you're doing this, because for instance, if I want to use this length of the bamboo for this hyacinth, the ground is very soft here, and that's the furthest the stake can go. Now, while this would serve the purpose, the danger is that this is coming out a little bit higher than, because the hyacinth is not going to be taller than this. And this is dangerous, because I would find myself walking and doing things around here, and this can be a hazard for me, because I can easily get injured there. So this is why I would suggest that when you're doing this for your hyacinth, you can go about 3/4 of the length of the hyacinth. So that way you are going to ensure that the stake is not shooting up and posing as a health as a hazard for you, because if it is, you're risking injuring yourself. I think an alternative to do that is to put a cap on, but I imagine that if you're having to cut this into the sizes, it may be better to have it about 3/4 and then put a cap on if you want to. So that would be one advice that I would give. One issue with having the cap like I have here is that this cap is too wide. It's wider, much wider than this. So even if you put it in the time that you're doing it, at the time you're doing it, this can easily come off, and so you still have that risk of being posing as a risk or danger to you, because it's your garden, you're going to be moving around and doing things. So it's better to do it firsthand and be sure that it's likely not going to cause you harm. So I have cut it to a height. I think this is okay, and I'm going to then secure this with a twine such that the hyacinth can just rest on it and it will stop it from flopping. I like to tie it in 2 locations because that way I'm not going to be putting pressure on the stem for the hyacinth, and it's just gently encouraging it to lean in onto the stick that I'm putting in place. So this is what I'm doing now. Do it a little lower, nice easy loop, and twice, so that I would not need to make it too tight. And then I do it the second time. So I'm going to show you the first one I did, which is that. So not very tight, and then I put another one around the neck here for the very close to the base of the flower. So I'll do that and show you. So I'm tying the second loop now around the floret, so to say. It's not a lot of space to do this. I don't want to compromise the flower that is already come out, so I'm being very gentle with it. I don't think I've done well there. Do it again. Okay, for my second loop, and I'll just show you. That's the second one. I'm using this green one because it does blend with the leaves around, so it's not, to the untrained eye, it will not be obvious that this has been done. You can see the first loop there, and the second one is not even obvious, it's around here. So this is what I'm going to do for all the other ones, and I'll show you them as I'm going along. So this is done for this hyacinth. It's not obvious from afar to the untrained eye, but I know what I've done there, and I'm hoping that this will secure this hyacinth and keep it erect for as long as possible. So this is what will happen to the hyacinth if I don't do anything about it. You can see this very one I'm holding, it's already flopping, and before you know it, a part of the stem somewhere here will snap, and once that happens, it's going to reduce the flow of nutrient to the heavy head, and it will start compromising the flower. So I'm going to have to secure this one as well, and I'll show you once I'm done with it. So this is the first loop that I'm using to secure the hyacinth to the bamboo stick, and I'll do the second one now, and I'll then show you the outcome. I think tying it around the head of the hyacinth helps because you have the, so to say, the in between the nodes of the flower of the floret that can hold or secure the loop, and it will prevent it from slipping down, which can happen if you just put it at the base below below the floret, where you've got nothing but just straight stem. And so this is the outcome for this particular hyacinth. I've got it there. That's the loop, or the parts that I've secured, which is higher above, and then the lower end is this one I'm showing you now. So from afar, let's see what it looks like. It's a bit obvious, but to me, because I'm looking for it, if you weigh it, what I prefer is to have hyacinth last for longer, and I'd rather have that than the aesthetic. This one is not quite 2 weeks, or maybe a little over 2 weeks, that it started flowering and gradually opened up to this extent, and they're already starting to flop. So maybe you can see what I've done here. So I've got the bamboo. This is showing the bamboo, and you've got the twine that I used to secure the bamboo to with the hyacinth, and that's another one I did. Need to move closer. You can see it, and I'm hoping that this will prolong the life of the hyacinth and mean that I'll be able to enjoy it for longer. I've got another one that I did. There you go. I would like to enjoy them for much longer, and you can do the same for your one as well. So at this end, you can already see the purple hyacinth from the base that is already looping, or looking like it's going to, fall over, because the head is quite heavy. So this is the next one I'm going to secure and try and keep upright with the bamboo stick. So I've got my stick, the bamboo, and I'm just going to be very careful not to be too close to the hyacinth, but this looks like a very nice length or height, so to say, for the staking, because I don't want it to be too tall, much taller than the hyacinth itself. So this is standing quite nicely. See the position of it next to the hyacinth. So that's the one I'm going to use. So now I'm going to put the twine around it, just to ensure that it's secure. As you've noticed, I like to do it in 2 places. This one is easy peasy because it's quite close to the end of the border. See, that's what would happen to the hyacinth. So I'm going to do 2 loops. First one is almost done. I think this is secure now. That's the final loop. There you go. So even if I leave it at just one, like I've done here, I think it may be enough, but I like to put one a little bit above here, so that I can be confident that this is indeed secure. Okay. The top part. In this case, because the bamboo is not long enough to be about here, I would have to make do with this region that I'm tying, so that I will have 2 locations where I have secured the hyacinth with the stick. There you go. I think this is okay. I think that's okay, and it should do. At least it's looking erect now. So if you have benefited from this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification button so you can receive an alert when a new video is being released. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.